What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Straight Facts Show. I'm Mr. Straight Facts. Today, obviously, um, remember this video I showed here? See it for the first time today. This is how the president, Donald J. Trump, and how disrespectful man is America. This is a video yesterday. How you doing?
But it writes well. I like it. He said, I'll paint it black. I said, that's nice. And I can even paint the White House on it, sir, if you like, in gold. Almost real gold, not bad. And I can even do your signature, sir. But the bottom line is, they're better pens. It's a business story. So for $5, could be zero, but for $5, I get a much better pen than for $1,000. Someday they'll discover a paint that will look like gold, and the guy's going to be the richest man in the world. I'm the only president that ever took a cognitive test. I took it 3 times.
Okay. I showed you that yesterday. Okay? I didn't have to show you the whole thing. I could have cut it off. It's about the pen. This man made an elaborate ass story about a pen, this black pen, and I got this pen in my hand, and it has gold on it, and sir, you can do this, and sir, you can do that. It can be black. I can do your signature, sir. I'll make the White House gold, sir. Yeah, it's such a great idea, sir. All that little bullshit, sir shit. And it turns out the reporter researched it and asked Sharpie, and they said, we don't know what the fuck you talking about. Washington Post posted today, or wrote today, Trump imagines a negotiation with Sharpie maker for $5 a pen. They never spoke to this man. You see what you elected, MAGA? This man fantasized and told a story about a pen. Never mind you, it's fake, okay? And I guarantee you it was a sales mechanism for you dipshit MAGA people, so that he's going to start selling these pens, right, for $5 that he's going to have made for 25 cents with a gold White House on it and his signature. And you're going to buy it because you're going to think it was a $5,000 pen that he got down to $5 for you, dipshit MAGA, and you're going to buy it. Why? Because you guys bought JD's fake ass sperm in a bottle and Donald Trump's fake ass diapers. That's why we know you guys will buy this stupid shit. Still, knowing that he's grifting, knowing that this pen organization said, look, we ain't got nothing to do with this dude. We don't know what the fuck you talking about. We had nothing to do with it. Why? Oh, why? Is it bad audio? You can't hear me? Hello, hello, hello. My audio looks pretty good on this side. I don't know what's going on. I could put my headsets on and hear myself. But I'll check it right now. But why, oh why, would it be that way? This man just lies constantly. I'm going to listen to it right now. He lies constantly. Oh, I need another unit to attach to my headsets. Testing 1 2 1 2. I don't hear anything. That's bad. I'm good now? Okay, thank you very much. Always good to get checked. I want to do this whole thing and it be nothing there. Although I have no problems with fucking up because I've done it before. I've sat there and talked and got into it and shit and didn't have the audio on. It's all good. We all have problems. As long as we admit them and try and fix them. So now that it's better, I'll leave my hands up off of it. Sometimes I hit the desk and shit. I get all in the shit. And, you know how it is. Anyway, why do you have to lie? Why do you have to lie? I mean, nobody cared about a pencil, or a pen rather. Nobody cared about it. Nobody would have thought about it. Because why? because we were talking about, where was this meeting? This meeting was about our men and women who were overseas fighting, and they're supposed to be letting us know what was going on. Instead, this man rambled everywhere but the right place. He talked about a pen. He made up a story. They sat there and laughed at this shit, knowing that Donald Trump ain't met with nobody. And think about this for a hot second. We're in a war, and this man is thinking about pens. He's supposed to be telling us about the war, and he's talking about pens. I mean, shouldn't this be, impeachment hearing time? I mean, seriously. It to me, it seems like they really don't care about the American people. You can't. People are sending their kids, their husband and wives, basically to fight, and more than likely to their death, that they're going to try and take over the Karg Island, because they're in the middle of nowhere. It's like, if these people want to just blow the whole island up, you can't get off of it that quick. So it's the way it's situated. If you look at the pictures, never been, but the way you look at the pictures and stuff like that. But either way, we're sending them to fight and putting them in a situation where there is no winning. How do you know? The only way you know when you win, anything, if you're playing a game, right? And let's say the person who ends up like Uno with no cards win. That's a strategy. You can try and work it out, but that's the end of it. When you end up with no cards, Uno, they have no plan. How do you win this? We don't know. So we're just going to just shoot our bullets. That's it. Answer or riddle me this. You don't have infinite bullets. So what happens when you start to run out of bullets? Because Donald Trump and those dipshits aren't going to have the ship filled with them. They're going to forget. They're going to forget. And then when you need reloaded, your bullets are running low, somebody there is going to say, we're running low, and you're 3 weeks away. I'm just saying, these people did not organize, so you're going to trust them to tell you, oh, we're gonna reload y'all up here. We're going to bring some more bullets out there. More weaponry out there. It's crazy to me. Oh, and did you hear? Because I said a lot of times we don't get to see what's going on. And, I keep my ear to the ground listening to, places that I could trust, and also places that I'm getting used to, like overseas. I'm all about facts, so I watch overseas stuff, and I'm still kind of like, might be propaganda. I don't know, so I search multiple sources. And did y'all know that our military women and men overseas in the Middle East, they aren't even on their bases. They fled the bases and they're living in hotels and working remotely. We lost, well, I ain't gonna say lost, gravely, their conditions is gravely, they say, condition, where it's 10 military people were harmed in this war. Our military people. And I think I've heard it only on 1 or 2 stations. Maybe it just recently happened. I don't know. So they probably didn't have it on earlier news. 10 of them. We had 13 die. We got 10 of them fighting for their lives. 250 plus that are hurt pretty badly. Don't know the levels of those particular 250 because they didn't even bring them up. You know how we, at least me, I can't say we found out about those 250? Not America. I heard overseas. When Donald Trump was saying, oh, we only lost 13,000. 13,000. That's great. 13 soldiers. We got 13. We killed thousands of theirs. And I'm like, that's crazy how none of them got hurt. Nobody else was there. Nobody else. I hear it over Al Jazeera that they got at least 200, if not more, Americans, and some of those are dead. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know about all that. I don't know. I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, whatever. And then boom, news started to say it. They had, 250 that are harmed, that are hurt, but we don't know the level of hurt they're in. But America didn't tell us that. They were later telling us that after the Middle East, Iran and all them told. So it's like, wait a minute, why aren't we being told about our military men and women, how they're doing? They worried about their reputation so much that they're not honoring our men and women who are going through this shit. They aren't bringing them home. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe I'm, again, I wasn't in the military, and maybe people can tell me, but when you get hurt, and I understand you need medical help, and maybe rehab or whatever, but the bases you're no longer on, what hospital are these people in? If they left their bases and they're working from hotels, what hospital are they in? It's a lot of questions to be answered that they're not answering. They don't have to give no secrets away. They ain't got to tell you where they're actually at. Is that, are they in a hospital? Or are they held up in hotels doing their best to help them out? It's insane. What are we doing here? Our mothers, some young people here, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and children are out there not knowing what the hell to do. Similar to these ICE agents at the airport. They don't know what the fuck to do. They're just there, chilling and eating and making a grip, doing nothing. Wouldn't you like to go to work and just do this? What are we supposed to be doing? I'm getting my check. I don't care. I'm going to stand here. What you want me to do? Ain't no bosses to tell you what to do. You're just there. Yeah. When's my hour or my shift over? 8 hours, 12 hours, whatever. Okay. And I just walk around the place and make money and watch these people here starving, 40-something days, 48 maybe, I think, something like that, days, 49. No food. Well, I ain't going to say no food. I don't know how poor they actually were. But I heard I think he's a representative. I had never seen him before. Different representatives from different states are just popping up out of everywhere, which is cool. We only get to see a select few of them anyway. But they're like, their constituency, their families are being sick. They've had elderly people die during this whole time because people are talking about food and things of that nature. A healthcare situation is still a fucked up situation because of that big, ugly, tripped out bill that elderly people aren't getting their medications. So some have died in this man's, in his area that he's the leader of, his constituents. And I'm like, this is just one big clusterfuck. There is nothing going right. Tell me what's going right. I really want to know. I just want to have some kind of good news. What is going right in our government, in our country at all? I mean, you're getting your tax money back possibly. But what's going right? Everything they're doing is fucking it up. We got tariffs. They took off. He threw on some tariffs that he can get, 10 to 15%. Donald Trump is stealing money from us. There's no doubt in my mind. A grifter is going to stay a grifter. Donald Trump has never recanted. He's gotten arrested. He's gotten indicted. He's been convicted. He never saw jail time. And he continues to do the same shit he did after he got arrested. He never stopped because this country will not hold him accountable. They think he's going to change. One of the biggest things that tripped me out is like earlier on in 2016, whatever, they kept acting like this dude was going to change. I don't know if you could remember back then. CNN, all the stations were giving him a super fair shot. And I'm like, I don't need to be giving him that. Well, he just might change. A year goes by. We're just waiting to see when the fever's going to break and things are going to change. 2 years go by. Why the fuck you still waiting for change? You need to change. Ask this man a legitimate fucking question instead of trying to placate him because he's the president. That president shit done fell apart when he came into it. You got to protect yourself from this man. You can't revere him. You got to look back and like, wait a minute. This is not what we think it's going to be. And question him tough. Not this, enamored by the president bullshit. Not at all. He doesn't deserve that type of respect. Other presidents can get that type of respect because it appears that they care and they are trying to some degree. This dude doesn't care. He literally said yesterday, I don't care. And he's talking about a war where men and women are going to die for this country for no reason. He's trying to act all hard. I don't care. Bone spurs, you do care. Because you were too scared to go, and now you're excited about sending people to places that you think are suckers and losers. Ooh, I can't stand these people. I heard more about the, somebody mentioned it yesterday, and I just read it. Someone, I don't know who was talking about it. I think Dennis or somebody about Donald Trump. I think it was Alice that said it yesterday about the Donald Trump putting his face, or at least, no, he was signing some bills with his name. And I think he may put his face on some of it too. I don't know about that part, but it's already a done deal. I guess he's gonna sign them and give them away to people. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm waiting for this shit to end. I'm waiting for this shit to end. It's a freaking nightmare. And I hope people who didn't vote last time, please start signing up. We got to fight for democracy. Put all your little issues, and I ain't gonna say issues, big issues aside, but your issues are not more important than a democracy. None of the shit you want, you're gonna be able to have if somebody like Donald Trump or a Republican is leading this country. And one thing I can thank MAGA for is that the people with the brain, you can see how Republicans cannot, now say it again, cannot, meaning can't do it, govern for shit. When Biden was there and they were in control of the House, they spent 2 years doing absolute nothing. It was the worst ability to govern, the least amount of bills passed in American fucking history. We talking about way back in the day. We 250 years old, baby. These people did worse than people back in the day before you and I were born. It is horrific. They cannot govern. And now you got a president. What can he do? Govern. He doesn't know how. He didn't know how to do it the last time. He wrote Obama's shit, and then after that, he listened to the people in the House that were just plain Republicans. He couldn't get all his sycophants in. So he had to listen to some of the people who were already there a lot of them were Republicans. And he went their route, and our country went to shit. It took a collective, because Biden even had Republicans, and I'm pretty sure Trump had some Democrats somewhere in his administration, or maybe not in his actual core people around him, but in the actual government, I'm sure he did. But Biden had it in his whole area, his administration, Republicans, Democrats alike, and got shit done. Because he knew how to govern, knew how to lead. Whether you liked him or not, he made decisions that made our country better. Of course, he made some that we did not like supporting Bibi Netanyahu. But everybody's attached at the hip for this dude for some reason. And I just only say it's about greed. I don't know why we care about another country so much that we don't care about our own. I don't know about you, but I've been seeing, Republican after Republican. I know some Democrats too. But on my timeline, I've been seeing Republicans do it. I guess Democrats may just keeping their mouth shut and just accepting the money. But Republicans talking about loving Israel. In the whole conversation, they never once say they love America. They're just giving praise to Israel. And I'm saying, like, dude, do you realize in the conversation that you're having, you just keep saying that you love Israel and BB. Not once did you say, I love America. That don't sound good. I guarantee you, over there, they love them more than they love us. Why do we love them more than they love us? I don't get. And I'm going to say, I don't. I never been to Israel. I don't want to go to Israel. So, I ain't got nothing to do with them. I don't want to like bomb them. I don't want to wish them no harm. I just want America to stand up for America. And if we're the powerhouse, so to speak, then we need to lead, not be led by a smaller, less powerful country. After all, they wouldn't be there if it wasn't for us fighting and winning to help them obtain something that they say they earned. But if you go back in history, they did not earn. They never put one shed of blood to fight to get it. It was all a contractual thing. While they sat in the wings and did absolutely nothing but offer money and time to people and gaslit people, they got signed into a doctrine. And next thing you know, once the people, Americans and others, finished fighting and dying, and America won along with Europe or Britain, then all of a sudden, the Ashkenazi Jews, and they just come from the island, everybody feels bad for them, which they should. Then they come to fucking Ottoman area, they call it Pakistan after that, Palestine rather. Come to Palestine and murder, rape, and kill and take their land after pretending that they cared about these people. And these people, Palestinians, did care about them. They let them live in their homes. I'm sorry, bro. I can rent an apartment for you. I can do my best to help you. But you coming from another foreign land and I don't really know you, you ain't sleeping in my crib, yo. It ain't even happening. It ain't family members. I know family members that's getting a hotel, okay? So they literally let them people sleep in their homes. You see how much love there had to be? And then they got stabbed in the back. Murder, rape, pillage, pushed out of their own country. And this country acts like it's not the terrorists. It's just so insane to me how a group of human beings in the hundreds of millions believe this bullshit that we didn't help them do that and that Israel is not a terrorist country. How in the fuck have people been brainwashed to believe Israel's not a terrorist country? The people who have fought back from the people who terrorized them are called the terrorists. The ones who started it are called not the terrorists. It's crazy how this shit is backwards. America, I'm sorry, we are a terrorist country. I could tell you that inside, we got domestic terrorists, racist ass white man in this country killing people of color with ease and getting away with it. Raping white women and getting away with it. All they got to do is go talk to the fucking judge. My son is such a good swimmer. He just got into college, but he was raping a girl by a trash can. But, don't take away his life because he's got so much to gain. Well, he should have did that before he started sticking his dick in somebody who didn't want it. But, can you give him some leeway, judge? And the white judge said, okay, pound of bat, you can go. Sorry, ma'am. That happened in this country. So please stop. We got terrorists here. Mostly white men. So don't be befuddled that we are a terrorist toward brown people in another country. We're terrorists toward them here. Jesus. Can't get better until you face what country we are. We don't have to always stay this way. But we will stay this way. That's why they want us to stay this way. That's why they don't want you to know history. Because they don't want it to get better. Because they get better, you start to see white men, racist white men, for who they really are. And that's why they're doing all this. Because people, the painted history, that old white paint started to peel. And you started seeing the dirt and the grime behind it. And that luster of whiteness, white privilege and supremacy of white people started falling the fuck off. That facade And you start seeing these people for who they really were. Conniving, hateful, their history's fucked up. But not all white people. Like I said, they were abolitionists, but people don't attach themselves to abolitionists. Why not? Ask yourself that, because I'm not white. I would attach myself to an abolitionist because I would never, ever have been racist. But hey, you do you. Even if I wasn't, my family could have been totally like one of the ones doing stuff. I'd be like, yo, I didn't like that. If I had known my great-great-grandfather, nah, bro, I would have never hung with him. It's just that simple. Admit it, disown that shit, and move forward. But they want to cling on to it. Why do you think they keep on bringing back these racist statues? They want to hold on to it. And I understand this country. I know I'm going off track, but I understand this country that you want to hang on to people who tried to overthrow the country. The people who fought to overthrow America. These racist people want to be on that side. I'm going to tell you once again, the South lost. L-O-S-T. So why are we celebrating losers? They got losers all over the South. Try to remember, it's what's it called? States' rights. And you heard it from Lee Atwater yesterday. States' rights is another word for N-word. And their states' rights was to keep N-words slaves. And if you black, I done seen a lot of y'all in the South thinking that the states' rights means something else, you are a dark-skinned KKK member. You don't realize that statement is against you and your entire family. You can't rub this shit off. You can if you don't clean it. It'd be dirty as fuck. But you can't rub it off. It stays there. So I don't know how many times you want to be a black white supremacist. But you got to understand that's what that means. So you might want to back up off of it, learn something. But I understand. I'm whistling in the wind. These people don't know their history and they don't want to know it. They don't want to know it. So this man, Trump, getting back to him, he lied about this pen shit. And then we talk about hearing that Donald Trump, and this is coming from inside his administration. Now, they have aides that are always around. A lot of people don't know, and I had to educate myself on a lot of it too, about the White House aides and the Senate aides and the representative, and I'm not talking about AIDS. I know y'all smart, but somebody in here stupid. Not kidding. Somebody passing through, dumb as hell. But these White House aides, they're there but invisible. They almost like what back in the day when they had maids and butlers working there, and they would be talking about all kinds of shit, and the maids and butlers be walking by. They were talking about crimes they did. They didn't think nothing about the butler. They was never there. They ain't thinking about him. So that's the type of situation with these aides. It's like, come here, whatever your name is, Becky. I need you to do this. I need you to read this book for me. Come back and tell me, give me pointers. They don't even read like half the time these bills. Their aides do it. So there being so many aides, you don't know whose aide said what. They're anonymous. Well, this aide came back and said basically they overheard that Donald Trump is bored of this war and wants to move on. Bored. And you understand what he's talking about. There is no trophy or accolades to be had. This is like the toughest thing that he's been through. Donald Trump has been that brat that whenever he didn't want to do something, all he had to do was back out of it, say he won or whatever, and move on. You can only imagine how he was. He never had friends, but let's just say if he did, he was that one kid that when y'all was playing a game and it became obvious that you had about 3 more moves to win and that person was cornered. Donald Trump was not that noble kid who kept playing until he lost. Donald Trump was that kid that threw his cards down and said, let's go outside and climb a tree. Like, what? We're still playing. He didn't want to give you the victory, yet he called themselves your friends. He only wanted to have victory. So whenever he got close to winning and your cards, You just had a couple left, whatever. You keep playing them out. And he keep playing and get all excited. I won. And we talk about him winning for 6 fucking months. Remember when I won back in 73? I'm like, motherfucker, it's 84. I know, but you lost. That's him. 100% him. That's the kid you couldn't stand and you wanted to pop in the throat every time they came to your house. Like, if you weren't my mom's friend, I put you in the backyard with the dog and let him eat you. Little piece of shit human. That's what Donald Trump is like. Big time. So Donald Trump says he's bored with a war that he started because he can't win. He's in a losing position. And all he wants to do is win no matter what. And then he loses, he wants to back out. You notice, if you have been paying attention, Donald Trump is trying to back out of this and blaming Iran for wanting to back out of this. And while he's backing out, what is he doing? He's giving other people credit. It is blaring that Donald Trump never gives anybody credit. If this war was going on with gangbusters like with Venezuela, he gave himself the credit. I did this, I did that, and we got this all together, blah, 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 but he was the leader of it. This war? Oh no. If you ask him about the war, he will divert off. He was I think an audio interview on Fox. And one of the ladies on Fox asked him a question about the war. This dude said, "Oh, I used to work with you back in the day. You remember that, right?" This is the answer to his question about the war. Like, what are we gonna do? What strategy should we have? Or are we gonna, whatever? It's just serious shit that people want to know. Even Fox wants to know what's going on because they got children that are gonna be in this war or relatives. So they really are trying to find out for their families, right? He goes, "You were so beautiful. You look the same. You look the same. It's about 10 years or so ago. You're so beautiful. Hot." Next question. Unserious. Doesn't want to talk about it. Mind you, these people have not told America why we're in this fucking war. They have not gone to the House and Senate and actually been grilled upon this war to give us the information in the public. They've gone behind the scenes, but they have not given the American people even their respect. And then they want $200 billion or $250 now. I think it's just still $200 billion. And I'm like, you could fund healthcare and SNAP for $200 billion. And you chose, somehow we got this money. You chose to go to war to use this money instead of using this money to do good. See, I want people to understand something. Maybe MAGA, maybe you understand this. If we take care of the people, I know y'all all trip like MAGA, y'all and Republicans, y'all all trip about, well, we get all these handouts to people, these handouts. You guys take handouts, you call them subsidies, but it's still welfare. But you give all these handouts to these people. The thing of this is, if these people have more money in their pocket and you already rich, you own in Google, you own in, AI shit, you own, everything, vitamins to food stores and shit of this nature, you set. But there's so many people in the population that are unemployed that if they got this money and even started small businesses, they would have to buy the products from you to be able to sell, which means they're going to be paying taxes and more taxes because they're making more money. The wealth would be evenly split more so. With the harder they work, the more they make if the economy worked for real dreams, the American dream. And therefore, millions of Americans would jump in economic levels if they were given the subsidies instead of giving it to the billionaires, giving it to the average folks to start businesses. And once their businesses start to grow, more jobs, higher pay, living wages more so, free healthcare possibly with all the tax money that would be coming in from all these people working that are looking for jobs but can't find them. Or trying to start a business but don't have the money but can get subsidies they don't have to pay back and start a business and start creating jobs. If you cared about the people, you'd be thinking this way. But you don't care about the people because you're always talking about giving money to rich people to create jobs. That shit never works. And Republicans know it never works. They just want the money, and they don't give a fuck about anybody else. Donald Trump, these MAGA people are proving it to you every day. They could be funding right now the TSA, but they choose to play games. And it's on the Republican side. I don't know why they try to both sides this shit. Republicans are in leadership, 100% leadership. They got the House, they got the Senate, they got the Supreme Court, and they got the president. They done ran the whole gamut, and they still can't govern. Some of these things need 50 plus 1. They got that. By themselves, they got it. Americans, Democrats can sit down and they can run the whole government without us. Some things need a majority plus. So it needs 60 people. So you need 10 people over the 50%. And that you have to work on. But for the, I would say 80% of the shit they want to pass, Democrats just sit on their ass and be like, yo, y'all got it. 50 plus 1, y'all got it. We can't do nothing about it. We can try and do all this stuff to hold it up and all that, but we really don't have any control. They're doing whatever they can, but there's all kinds of, one thing it's also done is taught Democrats how to fight different ways, even when you are on your back. Because the Democrats are on their back, but somehow on their back, they're coming back and winning. Do you understand that there's been 31, I believe, elections, House and Senate, that have been overturned from Republican in deeply red areas, from Republican to Democrat, 31-0. The Republicans see the writing on the wall. That's why they want that SAFE Act, because they're trying to level the playing field. Without it, they know they're fucked. That's their little cheat to try and keep as many people as possible out. But see, they got a bigger problem. They got a bigger problem than they think, because even if they pull that off, it's going to hurt a lot of Republicans, for one, and older Republicans, for two. But they've underestimated that. They think that the people who are there, the Republicans, they're 30%. They think they still got that 30% locked down 100%. They really don't. And here's one of the I would say, what do you call it? The example, I guess. But here's an example of why they don't necessarily have it the way they think they have it. And I also believe this was a heat check for Donald Trump and other Republicans. The CPAC has started. And this is one thing that happened at the CPAC they did not expect. Let's see if I turned off everything else. We have two different audios.
How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. That was the wrong answer. Let me try it again. How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No. Can someone bring some coffee out for the...
Yeah, no, that's the, I know.
We've got to keep this House majority. How many of you agree with that?
Nah. They want it out. They want it out. They expected that to be a not wanted. And so therefore everybody's going to be like, no. And they were screaming, yeah. And he was like, wait a minute, do this again. You guys do it. And when they did it again, then they go, yeah. They just like, woo. Not boo, woo. He's like, no, wrong answer. You think Donald Trump and all those MAGAs didn't see that? Oh, yeah, they saw it. They saw it. And they know that at the end of this year, if independents, Democrats, Republicans who say they're down, new people who are coming in that know that you don't have no other choice. You can go Republican all you want, but you're going to fuck this country up even more. You can't complain. If you elect these fucking dipshits again, you can't complain about shit. Your house goes, I'm buying one of them just for the fuck of it. I might just tear it down and leave it as a lot. I promise you. Just because that right there would piss me the fuck off. You don't deserve a house if you decide to vote the wrong way. The wrong way being, you can vote for whoever you want, as long as they ain't fucking dealing with, you can do your own thing, but I'm saying they're dealing with Trump, and then your ass do that shit and he continues to tear this country down, yeah, Democrats, independents, buy up their homes when they living under a bridge. I'm saying, I ain't got no, they can't govern. And there ain't no amount of keep on wishing and praying and getting on your knees and balling up your rosary and all that, buying 17 million crosses and put it around your neck. The devil still sees you as a dipshit. Jesus still sees you as a dumbass. You ain't getting nowhere with these things. It's just like in the Bible when they talk about, I done showed you 3 times this dude is a dumbass. I done sent you a raft. I done told you the orange dude is dumb as fuck. I told you he's going to do all these things. Black people and people of color and good white people told you over and over again. And you can't be saved because you ain't seen these people come and try to save you. And instead you stuck with the problem and made it worse. Your decision making is why you are where you are. Your decision making is why you have had your farm go to bankruptcy. Your decision making is why you're going to lose your home because interest rates are going to fuck up. And if you have a flexible interest rate, your shit going up and down, you in trouble. You didn't get it fixed, you in trouble. You holding on, you biting your nails. If you voted for this dude, we don't care. But if you didn't vote for him, we're praying for you. May he help you with GoFundMe's. But when you make mistakes and people don't told you, you done made it 3 times. You made a mistake 3 times. Ain't feeling nothing. My emotions is turned off for you. And I know you don't care, but my emotions are turned off for you. You can't run around and do stupid shit and not expect dumbass prizes for it. It's so bad that this thing with Donald Trump being bored with your children, your husband and wives out here fighting for Donald Trump's freedom because he's a pedophile. He want nobody to know. He's out here being, smug about how this war is going. He's talking about, I don't know if you've seen it, but he tries to crack a joke about the Strait of Hormuz.
And we're negotiating now, and it'd be great if we could do something, but they have to open it up. They have to open up the Strait of Hormuz.
It's not even funny.
Excuse me for this. I'm so sorry. Such a terrible mistake. The fake news will say, he accidentally said, no. There's no accidents with me, not too many. If there were, we'd have a major story.
Major story. The accident was your mom should have swallowed. That was an accident. She should have swallowed when she let that dad just, bust, but should have swallowed and spat it out after that, or shat it out, one of the two. But, it's just got a horrible little view of that shit. But yeah, he gets all smug. And not only that, he's on a tour of even more stupid shit.
That's a beautiful tractor. That's a gold tractor. Somebody had me in mind. What's that all about? That's a hell of a tractor. I'm looking at this. That's a good one, too. Red, white, and blue. But somebody really hit me with that one. That's beautiful.
We're at war. This dude's out here talking about gold tractors. Pens. If Joe Biden was out here talking about gold shit and pens and other making up fucking lies, they would literally be talking about he needs to be kicked out of office. 25th Amendment, impeachment. And this man rambles on the shit that nobody even cares about. It's like, what's he talking about? Well, why is there a gold tractor? I mean, it ain't even like, it's not something that you would actually put out on the farm and do something with. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a trophy for him. Look, there's a tractor with a trophy. It's for Donald. Oh, man. Did you know that this man has another one of his lies he keeps putting out there? Because I've been trying to find it. I know I can't trust him, but I always listen and I go to try and verify what he says. And he was like, of course, it sounded weird that, again, we don't see information. Sorry about the hitting the table, but we don't see information from overseas. At least I don't, except for when I go to a couple sites. I always have to triple check as much as I can. But on our news, we don't see it. Donald Trump has been saying for a while, of course, he won it, but his scenarios of all their ships are sunk into the bottom of the ocean, and that we got rid of all their air, their planes and stuff like that, but their air assaults, weapons and stuff, and we've gotten rid of a lot of the things. They're only working off of so much percentage of their things, but he always says they're gone, completely obliterated. But then he'll come back and say, I'm sure they do got something, but they're completely obliterated, which is total opposite. Obliterated is all gone. They have some things you don't know, but they have some. Well, it comes out Reuters, which is a very trustworthy, I've known over the years. When I say years, I'm talking about decades. Reuters comes out and they have an exclusive on how much is actually confirmed, that the military can confirm, the U.S. can confirm that they destroyed for Iran. It says U.S. can only confirm about a third of Iran's missile arsenal destroyed. Sources say a third, which means, of course, 33%. So there's 66% that's still there. He acts like it's all over. And I heard another reporter ask him about that. Why don't we hear anything about what's going on the other side of the world? Because our kids, we want to know what's going to happen, right? And I think that one lady asked that same question, but it was another person who asked it, and he just moved on with her. This was the earlier question I believe this woman had. I told you earlier that he just started calling her beautiful and gorgeous and all that and didn't answer the question. And she looked concerned. I mean, and she's like one of the regular blonde ladies on Fox. I forgot her name. I never really get their name, Ashley, to be honest. But anyway, that was Reuters that actually got us that information. So that's cool. We get to see that it's only a third. So my mic is popping again. I don't know what's going on with this. I got to keep my headset on to be able to hear it. But yes, let me listen to this. I have a feedback that lets me hear what you guys are hearing. And if it's not happening to me, this is going to be kind of weird. If it's not happening to me, it shouldn't be happening to you. It may be something on your end. Mine is clean. No popping. Not at all. So I'll keep my headset on just in case I hear it again. Thank you, Benny Loco. Sometimes it's sometimes it's YouTube that does that. All right, I'm gonna keep my headset on just a little bit and see if I can hear it myself. Because sometimes, like when mechanic shit, when you put it on, you don't hear it, and then as you keep talking, like, oh, I know what you're talking about. So I'll try and hear what you guys are hearing. Okay, cool. So what else was I was talking about? They always said about the 33%. It was a conservative group that does I guess I don't know if they do just military testing or just numbers and so forth. Conservative. Now they're not liberal whatsoever. They're like over there with Donald Trump's Project 2025 type of people. But they wrote an article and it says that they were if Donald Trump tries to seize Karg Island, it could be basically a trap for Americans and something of America's own making. Because one, they know what you want to do. You hadn't even arrived there yet. So whatever they need to get rid of you is already planted. They don't want you moving your ships out. They've already planted the mines. So that's why people don't want to go through that water. The mine's going to blow your ass up. You've told them that you want this island. for weeks now, or for at least a week. You think they haven't booby trapped it already? I mean, you think they don't have drones already there? You've told them what you're going to do. Now, you may land somewhere else to finally arrive at the island, but the reality is they're going to be waiting for you. You don't telegraph that you're coming. It's just, that's insane. Nobody asked you to give a strategy, but you don't televise that you're coming to a location. That's just insane. And to send another 10,000 troops on top of the ones you just sent, and the 50,000 that are already there, I don't think this, I mean, I hope they do, but if their information, which these military men and women have to have more information than us, but if their information is the same information we've gotten so far and what our representatives and senators have gotten, they're not going to be prepared for it. Because every day you see, again, these military men and women have left the bases. The majority of them have left the bases, and they're working via remote at hotels in areas throughout the country, and other allies, rather, not Iran, but the allies around there in the Middle East, where those bases that we have on there. They're not on the base. The latest 10 people who got really hurt and possibly are dying, they were on those bases. Now, they said some of these military men and women will travel to the base, I guess on some kind of little, mission, and then go back to the hotels. And the other thing is that Iran has set like some kind of, what's it called? It basically is about, they have spies. They're trying to find out what hotels they're in. It's only going to be a matter of time to where they find these hotels are at. One by one, they're going to pick them off. I'm just saying, we're putting our people in bad situations. And there's no reason for it. We haven't found out what, these people were not going to blow us up. They were in negotiations with us. You listen to Israel, who's been asking for this for like 40-something years, and every president with a fucking brain outside of the dumbass scarecrow in the office now said no. And one of our brightest made a deal with them that they kept. And what's so crazy is that they offered Trump a better deal than they offered Obama. And they still said no. I don't know what we're going to do. Then you have, I didn't even get into this. Cockeyed Cash Patel got hacked, y'all. That is some, and here's the thing. Supposedly they released the emails or he got hacked on his computer, his personal phone, I believe. They say there's no military information on it. But here's the problem that I have with that. These are not facts. I'm just using logic. Okay. And then I want to ask a question to Democrats. If they see this, if you guys see them, if you follow any one of them, at them about it. Not me, just at them the question. With Cash Patel, there is a $10 million reward given for him to get information on who took it, who took the phone. I don't know about getting it back, but at least on who took who hacked him. And they say there's no federal government or any kind of, information on it. But here's my problem with that. One, I know that there is government information on it. Pete Hegseth was doing it. Two, I also know that there's information on it. Why? Because he had Signal on his phone. And Signal was the way that Mika Meadowcroft was a part of Project 2025. I showed you guys that video. Mika Meadowcroft is part creator, I guess creator of it, helped write it, with Russ Vogt. And he said the way they were going to communicate was like back channels, not so that it wouldn't be FOIAble, which means Freedom of Information Act. So, and that's illegal. And he told this billionaire, it was on the tape. And I don't know why we have not asked Mika Metcalf, Russ Vought to come down to the House and Senate, be sworn in, and ask them questions about Project 2025. I don't know why they haven't done that yet, but they should, because in those documents that the news caught with them, Russ Vought and Mika Metcalf, it was mostly Mika, through his own lips, out of his own mouth, he wasn't led, said that they were going to do things in the White House that was not foilable, which means they were going to hide government shit that could not be written down. Not legal whatsoever. It's highly illegal. They have not asked that question. Republican, Democrat, or nobody, right? And then Russ Vought said that the Project 2025 that we read, my constituents, not constituents, my people that I follow as well, and content creators, mutuals who've read it as well, even Joy Reid to many others that read it as well. In this document, in his video, Russ Vought, out of his own mouth, said that he had another book that was much longer than the book we saw, the 900 pages, that would implement, and nobody could see that, all the things that they said they want to do. If that book, come on, Iran, hack that shit. If you hear me, Iran, hack that. I know it was a book, but I know he put it in document form. And he had to send it to other people via this app of some sort. Everybody must have this plan on their phone because they would not do it to be foilable. And I highly doubt that every day he wakes up and just sends everybody an email or a document on what they should do day to day. That's a lot of work on his half. If he just gave it to him already filled out, which that's the way he said he had done in this video, that it would have like day-to-day things that they would have to do to accomplish. Then you would understand what they're doing and get ahead of the game. Democrats, you need to bring Russ Vought in and question him about this, because it's non-democratic and it's illegal of the things that they're doing, because there won't be a document that in history that we can look back on and say, oh, they had this strategy for America and that was great. It was trying to make America great. No, they had a strategy of hiding, of creating a back channel that doesn't show what they were going to do to our country. And we are sitting here getting everything that they decided to do as destructive as it is, and Democrats are trying to figure out how to combat it. They don't know when they're going to do something next, but it's in that document. You can't tell me Donald Trump woke up and just knew how to implement this shit. No, he don't read. He's letting them run the country while he jet sets and does whatever he wants and answers questions that they feed him. And they feed him these questions, they write it down, and then he goes off on his business. He barely probably remembers what happened the day before. But Kash Patel got hacked, and I know that he has signal on it. Now, I don't know if he can get the other, well, if they're hackers, I'm guessing they could get into his signal, because you have to be logged into it, I believe. When Pete Hegseth had his information on there, there was a person, because I guess Democrats use it too. They talked about how you had to, once you're logged in, you have access to it. You don't have to like do anything else. So they've already hacked it while it was open and took everything they needed, probably while he was using it. And now they have every kind of game plan that Trump and the rest of them are doing. I'm pretty sure the war game plans are on his phone. This is why this man is looking for $13 million to pay, because your phone ain't worth 13 mil, bro. It ain't worth it. And the documentation, if it's just your personal phone, your girlfriend and all the family, 13 million. And then here's the other thing, Democrats, that I want you to answer for me and have him answer. That $13 million better come out of his pocket. It's his personal fucking phone, not his government phone. So he got hacked as a person, which means that 13 million is coming out of his pocket. The government should not be paying $13 million for his fuck up. He wasn't supposed to have any kind of government information on his personal phone. That's That's the problem with these types of security issues, is that these apps are not secure. None whatsoever. Not for what government shit. We got personal shit on here that's not secure. And if any of them hacked it and they continue to use this app after they saw what Pete Hegseth did, you'd think Iran didn't hack as much as possible into all of their fucking phones? They know where it's at. They try to act like they hide it, but they could watch just a video like I watched that showed that they were doing that. And if they went to hacking and say they bullshitting, and then found out these fools are for real sharing documentation, government information over an app, they think it disappears. But once we get on it, we can retake it, copy it, and it's a wrap. If it is from Iran, I'm not sure who it is, because they want to spend $13 million. If it's Iran, you ain't getting nobody. But it's just crazy. And did you hear? Well, the senators have went home, and they passed a bill 100-0. I mean, they all passed a bill to open it up for TSA, and then they have a separate thing they can do, I guess, reconciliation for, DHS and ICE and things of that nature. Now, here's the thing that I've been tripping about. ICE is getting paid. ICE has been funded for 4 years. Why are they a topic in this bill? TSA and all the other organizations aren't funded, which means they're not getting paid. But ICE is. So why are we talking about funding ICE again when they got 3 more years of money already there? They got some crazy $100-something billion. They're covered. So I don't understand why we're having this problem of going back and forth when ICE is being paid. Why don't you wait until, you know why? I just answered my own question. Had that eureka moment. They need to do it because they in their own heart of hearts, they know by the end of this year, if they don't get it, Democrats are coming in and they're taking it from them. That's why. That's why. I just realized that, because I'm like, you got 3 more years of it already funded. So why they're trying to fund it for many more years to come? And I'm like, dude, why would you be funding something in the years in which you will not be president, and the new president's going to come in and defund it? So why are you doing it? Unless you're ripping Americans off and taking the money. I mean, I don't know. Corey Lewandowski's doing it. And who do you think he probably learned it from? Anything over a few $100,000 or $100,000, he was skimming off the top and calling people, yeah, I'll give you the money, but you got to give me 25 grand or whatever his number was. And the corporations are the ones that ratted him out. So I'm guessing I don't know if there's going to be an investigation under Trump, but at least there is news like investigation, and they're finding this stuff out. And hopefully, since it happens and they got to do their own investigation, Democrats get in, hopefully, by the end, by next year, and they can do the investigation. Democrats, y'all going to have a hard time, man. I mean, it's a good thing, though. We put y'all in, you're going to be having everybody talking about, if you don't have, like, at least 75 things going on of trying to get these people either expelled from their positions, these impeachment hearings. We want impeachment hearings for the president, for the vice president. We want impeachment hearings for judges, Supreme Court judges, all that. The lady the judge in Florida, the one who hid Jack Smith's case forever. We want that investigated. We ain't playing. So y'all get ready for work. If you want our vote, you better get ready to work. Trust and believe. Also, if you were into the Dow, went down, been going down like this for a while now. Just terrible. Now, you'll see not senator, it's House Fox, Mike Johnson. House Speaker. He was on Fox discussing about this information. This DHS and what he said about it. Let's go.
House Republicans will have no part in reopening the border and stopping illegal immigration enforcement. And that's exactly what this piece of legislation attempts to do. We're not trying to roll the Senate. We're trying to do the obvious, common sense, moral thing, and that is keep the government funded for 2 more months so we can sort out the differences between the parties.
Mm-hmm. All lies. All lies. You can vote this thing down, but the whole thing is they want to do it so that they trap Democrats into whatever thing they want to do. And it's like, dude, just govern for your time as president. Quit trying to extend shit 20 years and 30 years down the road. These people are going to come into power, and if we give them the full majority, they're going to change it. So just do it for the 4 years that you're there. You know what I mean? And then allow the people to decide if they want to keep it. And if they do, we'll extend it. But you guys are always trying to extend certain things like way too far. And I don't know if it's you. If you feel this way, I don't know if it's me rather. If you feel this way, I've heard so much money for so many organizations and shit. And I'm sitting here like, why do they have so many problems helping the poor? These people come up with just random ass numbers. We need $200 billion for what? The war? You just got a government like a war chest of $1 trillion. Why do you need $200 billion? Reallocate some shit. The fuck are you talking about? How do you get $1 trillion and then ask for $200 billion? And do you know that these people could fund us our Social Security? If you got $200 billion just sitting around, then pay off the IOUs you have for Social Security and quit stealing money from the American people and shut up about Social Security going like bankrupt over so many years. It doesn't have to be. Pay what you owe. The government took money out of that, which they should have never did. And that's why it's becoming almost insolvent in a few years, whatever. But if you put that money back, it won't be that way, will it? You coming up with $200 billion here and $50 billion there. I'm like, how are y'all coming up with this extra money when throughout we already fund the military? That's $1 trillion already in the coffers to do what you need to do. That's already budgeted. Why on earth do you need $200 billion more? Use the $1 trillion, and when you get close to zero, bitch, then ask for some more money. But don't be sitting there asking us why you got $1 trillion fucking war chest and you want to come and ask for $200 billion. Take it out of your war chest. We need to fund other shit. We need to stimulate our economy. We need to start investing in people who want to start a business so they can be able to create jobs. Because people who are up here, they don't create the jobs. It's the people who have small businesses and mid-sized businesses that create the jobs. So quit gaslighting Americans and telling them that big business is going to create jobs. They're not. You need more mom and pop shops and, uncles starting shit and kids starting stuff. And you need to give them the subsidies that they don't have to pay back. They just have to have a good plan. Just like you give these billionaires opportunities and shit like that and money that they never have to pay back. But the people who are middle class or poor, you want them to pay you back or you'll take their business away. That's quite fucked up when you don't say that to Bill Gates or, anybody else, that have a business and that are billionaires. Elon Musk, you guys give them money like crazy. And if they can't even be successful, well, you tried. How much more money you need? While the rest of us are sitting here, how can I get that $50,000? Even though that $50,000 you got to pay back. And hopefully your business succeeds. They don't ride or die with the American citizens. They ride and die with the millionaires and billionaires. They give them money to make money. But the poor, they loan you money so they can still make money off of you. Take your property. The situation sucks. But yeah, Mike Johnson was on there just crazy. And I don't know, man. I'm tired of trying to prove shit to stupid people. I'm really getting tired of that. And I like spitting facts, don't get me wrong. But it's crazy how you start to see now um, a lot of these MAGA people coming out of these bubbles. And you can tell what type of character they have. They have that entitlement gene in them. They always talk about other people having entitlements, talking about poor people having entitlements. Those are entitlements. When in all honesty, and I ain't talking about economics, I'm saying that they have entitlement with their feelings. They literally think that once they wake up, they can just join your team and you should trust them. They think they're trustworthy people. I'm like, you was in a fog for a decade, Trick. How the hell are we supposed to sit here and think, as far as we know, you the enemy sneaking in, try to blow up some shit and rat us out to the racist people? We can't trust you. You had an epiphany. What happened when you had an epiphany? Did you fall and hit your head? I mean, what was the reason why you had this epiphany? Because we just ain't going to trust you. How can we trust you when we told you a billion times and you just got it a decade later? You a decade slow. Hit me up in 10 years after being good for 10 years and not being an asshole. Then we can be cool. But you just come out of it and you just want to be homies? No. 10 years of proving that you're worthy of people who get it right because they care about all people, not just your people or his people. They care about all people because if everybody's on the same track of facts, then we all benefit. If you tell me the facts, I'm going to work with the facts and try to make my life better. Somebody else is going to work with the fact and try to make their life better. And we're all building our lives on a foundation of facts, and things are stronger. It doesn't shift. But when you're lying all the time, we're building our shit on a house of fucking cards. Just blow it and all falls down because it wasn't real to begin with. And you guys are finding this out now that Donald Trump was like a magician trick. He suckered you. He made you believe shit that you don't think you would have believed. But what he tapped into is your inner hatred of others and your love for self-destruction. I don't know what happened in your family, but you enjoy self-destruction because you gotta understand something. We are what make this country great, not you. And just put it this way, if these races and MAGA, if this country was all MAGA, this would be a poor country. Why? Because you guys have the MAGA people, you have no flavor. Nobody want to listen to your music. You can't dance worth the shit. You're not great entertainers. Most of you guys, even when you have actors and so forth, and they think, oh, I like them and stuff like that, you find out they're MAGA. MAGA age. Look at MAGA people. They age horrifically. Oh, they age horrifically. You'll see, what's the guy's name that the rapper who turned MAGA. And I saw him recently, I don't know if it was an old video or whatever, screaming, if you fuck with Trump, you gotta fuck with me. I'm like, dude, we could fuck you up in a heartbeat. I don't know what you talking about. Oh, rapping country ass dude. But he gonna sit here and talk. That's the one with shooting all the Budweisers and stuff like that. But dude, be serious. You're not gonna be able to do anything. That man looks like he's 75 years old. He was rapping not too long ago. Kid Rock, thank you, Vera. Kid Rock looks 75. They age horrifically. Kellyanne Conway, she looked like a corpse. Donald Trump, of course, he's just an orange turd. All these people age horrifically. And most of them have had money throughout their entire life. It is just their spirit that's so ugly that it shows on the outside. The hate that they have in them shows on the outside. There's no youth in them. They look like decrepit animals. because they have no real joy in their life. They're always trying to hate on something else. And it's like, dude, you're trying to lift yourself by stealing from other people, either their culture, either their way of life, the way they make money. If this country was all Kid Rock, Donald Trump, all these MAGA people, this country would be shit. Shit. And I ain't trying to be disrespectful to anybody else, but I truly believe this. You can take the black people from this country and put them in any other country, and we'll survive and thrive, and everybody be like, man, we want to dance like those black Americans that moved to Cuba. These motherfuckers can do it. Why? Because just like anything else, we have had to survive in the midst of shit. It's in our DNA to go from zero to hero. It's in their DNA to think that they're great without working for it. Hence Pete Hegseth. Hence Donald Trump. They don't work hard for shit. They rely on their whiteness or their looks to some people to move ahead. We don't have that privilege. So we really got to show up and show talent. Because you won't find a mediocre black person leading shit. I dare you find one. Find a mediocre black person leading something. When you look at the Supreme Court justices, Ketanji Brown, I mean, that lady is a genius. And you look at the other ones, oh my God. And to be honest, what's his name? The black one, the black male, he was smart growing up in college. He was smart. But if you go and watch his I don't know if it's a documentary. It's more of an expose about his life or whatever. And it's the one that molested a black woman, and then all of a sudden, you know, got into the office. I know his name at the top of my head. I can't bring Super Coon. But if you go back and look at his life, he married a white woman. He wants the loving case to be looked at again, which is crazy. I don't understand that at all. But in his life, when he went to college, he earned getting into the college that he was in. But the racist white people around him, just Thomas, the people around him thought he got it because he was black. And he got hurt by the fact that white people would say that the only reason he got into Clarence Thomas, the only reason he got into the position that he's in is because he was black. And he hated that. Instead of hating on the white people who said that about him, he hated on his own race for wanting or even pushing or passing or keeping or using any kind of act that helped black people get opportunities to be able to get into places. Not realizing that even though he was smart, affirmative action helped him get in the door. He's the one who had to open it and actually build something in it. But he got broken so bad that he started hating on his own race instead of the people who was racist toward him. He wanted to be like white people so much that when they fucked him over, white people did, he didn't blame the white people. He literally accepted this idea that he wasn't good enough because he got in because he was black. Instead of realizing he got in and had to show himself. He could have got in because they didn't give him opportunity because he was black. He got in because of your merit. And that's when you talk about some people are so stupid, they're dumb. Or so smart, they're dumb. He's so smart, he went to the dumb realm of life to try and justify it. Because these racist white people he wanted to be like, these rich white people who weren't as smart as him, but had money, he was chasing that so much that he did not see that he was brilliant without their respect. And they were jealous of his ability to be better than them, being black. So they tried to make this dude feel bad about getting in and saying he was DEI and all that shit. And that really hurt him. And instead of actually fighting for black people and saying, yeah, but I got in here and I did A, B, and C regardless, he turned into this mega coon, blaming black people for wanting the affirmative action. Like he had something to prove to these racist ass white people. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I just don't get people, man. I really don't. I really don't. The logic behind that is stupid. It's no logic. It's like, yo, you get in because of the fact, and he was in this era. He's older than me. He was in an era where they would not give you this opportunity because you were black, even though you were qualified for it. If they're, and this is what I want people to understand, affirmative action opened the door, not only just for black people, but still, they're saying it opened the door for you. It allowed these people to see you for more than their racist ideals of you, more than their stereotype of you. If that did not exist, there would be so many, and there still are, there would be so many black people who were brilliant as hell that would have never turned out to be anything near what they're capable of doing. Because these racist people would have never gave them an opportunity or a chance. These racist banks and investors would have never gave them opportunity or chance, and they would have been sitting there busting their ass and being whatever they was given opportunity to be. If affirmative action wasn't there, we'd still be janitors and doctors only in our communities. You wouldn't be able to treat white people or Latin people, only your community. Latin people wouldn't be able to treat nobody but Latin people if we stuck with the way these people wanted things to be. Affirmative action, DEI, gave brilliant people access that racist white people chose to give even to their dumbest white person over the smartest black or Latin person or Asian person. And how people like Clarence Thomas and other coon people don't see that, I just don't understand. I just don't get it. They're on some other level of stupidity. If you get inside the door, it's black people, people of color, it's your turn to show the world what you're working with. You didn't get shit for free. You had to still qualify, and more than likely, you had to be 10 times better than the best white person that came through this damn door to get in. You had to be extraordinary. If you really want to do it, there's a movie. It wasn't about black people, it's just about disadvantages and advantages of other people of color. At least this one guy of color. It's something about numbers. I'm trying to remember, but this maybe you can type in a scenario. It's an Indian man. But at the same time, when you find out about his life, you kind of flip out because the movie it doesn't show that. But it's something about numbers. I can't remember, but it's an Indian man, one of the smartest Indian men that was mathematically like brilliant. But he got opportunities to go to colleges in Europe and different other places, London, I guess it was, to these really prestigious, like Harvard type colleges. And he was figuring out solutions to problems that these white brains, just brilliant people, were just enamored by this kid, right? But, you know, the things he had to do, the fight to get there, and, you know, they opened the door for him because they seen how bright he was. If they didn't open those doors, we wouldn't have had access to some of the mathematical things that he came up with if it had just been relied on the brightest white person. But there have been bright Indian people, there have been bright black people that have provided for science and going to the moon and rocket ships and all this shit, computer chips, to CCTVs, to all that shit. If they didn't give them the opportunity or even the access to this education or to these technologies, these things we wouldn't have. And it's not something about, oh, it's DEI. No, it's about stop being racist and give the best man, woman the opportunity, regardless of race, but of ability and skill to do the job, instead of, oh, he's white, he's right for the position. Oh, she's white, she's right for the position. Instead of saying, oh, he or she's brilliant, no matter what race they are, they're right for the position. That's what we're trying to get to. And that's why these programs were created. People don't understand. Why do you create programs? It's because racist white people wouldn't allow these people the opportunity to do these jobs, or women to do these jobs, because they thought they were supreme to them. So if we just left this country just filled with racist white men, these mediocre average white men, and the rest of us went somewhere else and thrived, they'd fuck around and eat each other, because they're not smart enough to be able to fix shit or do shit. They just can't. They need us. the creative, the brilliant. They need us. Even when you say like Mark Zuckerberg, I saw this one genius dude talking about, I guess he's a genius, but they were talking about it, talking to him. He was like, the craziest part about Mark Zuckerberg is Mark Zuckerberg came up with Facebook. He hasn't created anything since. Everything that Mark Zuckerberg has, he's bought and implemented. His Meta, trash. Everybody else's shit is blowing up. Everything that he's come up with, he's bought. WhatsApp, all these different. He had to buy other people's brilliance to add to his. He hasn't created anything on his own since Facebook. So when you're just stealing from everybody else's brilliance, yeah, you seem like a smart guy. Same situation with Elon Musk. He bought Tesla. He didn't create it. They seem like the brightest people. They're not. There are other people who write code and do these things like that are way better than them. They just don't have racist white people with the type of money they have to invest in them and push them forward. Just saying. Those are things that I learned in history, the facts that you can check out. You can always come back and tell me, I don't know what you're talking about. Derek Ross, yeah. Hidden Figures, that's one. Brilliant sisters, talented sisters. If black people weren't getting the opportunity, these things would not have happened. And again, not just black people, Latin people, Asian people, Indian people weren't given these opportunities. This country would be bland. Do you really think, here's the thing that I want people to understand. America is number one in a lot of different technologies and a lot of, things that we come up with. You have to understand when people talk about, we get the immigrants out of here. These are dumbass white people that want immigrants out of here. Dumbass people of color, too. You're dumb because you got to understand something. A lot of what we have to defend us, our bombs, our technologies and stuff like that, Chinese, there's Taiwanese, there's of course black, white, Indian, Asian. We have a plethora. If it was just one of those races, and that's all we had, technology may not be as great. But investing in all brilliance and asking other brilliant people to come here, and they don't have to be rich and brilliant. You just have to be somebody who knows this stuff. You could be a 16-year-old kid living, in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Raising goats. But you may have an idea of like, writing in the sand, like this one Indian guy was writing in the sand numbers. And that's how, I think it might be, no, it's not numbers. That's the name of the TV show. But I'll look it up if I can find it. I'll probably post it on my show. But it's like a off type movie. I wouldn't say B movie. I would just say it's like it's one of those ones you just pick up that wasn't like in the movie theater. I don't think it was, but it's a really good movie to watch. Now the bad part about this movie is that his love interest now was this young lady, beautiful, blah, 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 some actor. You'll know the actor too. But when you go back and search his history, back in those days, his wife that he married from India, he ended up dying for some weird issue, but his wife was 8. You heard me. Their culture at that time, they married off kids. His wife was 8 years old. In the movie, you'll see this grown-ass, beautiful Indian woman, but in real life, you go check his life out. I'm like, holy shit. Things back in the day. I know Little House on the Prairie, you was old maid at 13, or 16. No? Yeah, 16. We done had some weird shit in our history. True. We've evolved. But yeah, it's other than that, and they don't show that part, but other than that, when I found out, it was a good movie. Yeah, it's crazy. Let me see if I can find it so I don't want to be talking about it. The Man Who Knew Infinity. The Man Who Knew Infinity. Forgot the actor's name. And I don't get nothing for this. I ain't trying to plug nothing. But in real life, that dude was pretty he was brilliant mathematically. 13-year-old old me back in the day, yeah. This week, Drew. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dennis. You guys, I'm about to get up out of here, but check out that movie. You get a chance. It's pretty good. If you can look past that other part, you don't see it in the movie though. But let's see. Is the primary film about the brilliant Indian mathematician? Exactly. Beautiful Peacock. Yeah, definitely. I saw it many years ago. I think it came out like 2015. I saw it in 2015. Yep. About his life. And he dies of some really simple disease back in the day. I don't know if it's like, I don't know, a flu or something. It was something kind of like just simple, it seemed. But that's what he died of. I don't know if that was a disease, but something simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys, I've heard no real problems in there. Room noise a little bit. I'll try and get rid of that. But other than that, I didn't hear anything. But you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday doing the same old thing, speaking facts and learning about stuff and sharing whatever I have to give. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. And thank you for being here. All my moderators love you. Thank you very much. And I'll see you when I see you.